What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about how houses in the UK are different. Today, I want to take a look at this Reddit discussion where somebody asked, what do UK houses have that others don't? So houses in the UK have stuff that we don't have, or at least different to houses in America. And that sounds very, very interesting to me. This person says, I just read that only about 5% of houses in the UK have an air conditioner. What? Due to the cool summer. Really? 5% of houses in the UK have an air conditioner? That is so standard and necessary here in America. That is a huge difference. Only 1 out of 20 houses have an air conditioner? Really, how cool is the summer? I mean, wouldn't it just be nice to have an air conditioner just in case you want to control the temperature in your house? Isn't it better to have it and not need it? Or is it really just not necessary in the UK? Are our climates that different? I want to look up the weather in like London. Okay, London weather. Here we go. 74. 74 Fahrenheit. That is significantly cooler. Like around the United States right now, it's like 90. For people in the UK, maybe it'll help. 23? 23 Celsius right now. Wow. That's actually pleasant. That'd be a perfect summer temperature. What the heck? Does the UK have the perfect summer temperature? Because it's a bit uncomfortable here. That actually makes complete sense for what we're talking about. The air conditioners. It's uncomfortable here in America, so we need air conditioners. And in the UK, it's just pleasant. What? Really? This is fascinating. Any other known facts like this about homes or the architecture or the cultural differences? I'd love to know more. I would love to know more as well. I thought it'd be fun to take a look at some of the top answers here that people in the UK have submitted about the features of UK houses. Let's keep going. Here we have bricks. Houses made of bricks. Those American houses are just made of bloody wood. That's a very UK way of phrasing this. Bloody wood. They never read The Three Little Pigs. Actually, we did. We did have that story, at least when I was growing up, about the Three Little Pigs. And they're getting their houses blown down. And you don't want to be the one with the wooden house. But this is true. Are houses in the UK mostly made of brick? Here in America, a lot of houses are made of wood. I'm trying to think. Probably most houses. Well, a lot of houses are kind of a combination of wood and brick. And if you're in America and you purchase a home that's completely made of brick, that's like considered sort of a luxury. That's like considered quite nice. And it is considered better and more expensive. So there's a lot of wooden houses here. I don't know. I guess you can't argue that structurally that's not as good, not as insulated. But it's cheaper to make out of wood, I believe. So in the UK, are most houses brick? Yeah, especially when the big bad wolf visits regularly. Yes, I'm talking about hurricanes. Like hurricanes in the US or in the UK? Seems like the UK would be much better equipped for surviving hurricanes with all these brick houses. Really? I never knew that. Brick is just like higher quality. Like, wow. What? Okay. What else do we have here? This is just stuff like about UK houses that it's better. Well, actually, the first thing was about air conditioning. We have air conditioning, but our climate is worse. We're all sweaty. We're all hot and sweaty and need air conditioning. That's not actually a pro, is it, when you think about it? And air conditioning costs money. Yeah, so far this is just like better stuff about UK houses. Okay. Fuses in our power outlets. In the outlet itself? Switches in our power outlets. I've heard of that. That's a big difference. I've heard of that there's like switches on the outlet itself. So you can actually turn it off and on right on the outlet and turn off the power completely. There's fuses. Fuses in the power outlet, really? That I guess that sounds like more safe. I don't really understand too much about electrical engineering and fuses, but that sounds like a good thing. Like each and every outlet has its own fuse. If it gets a surge of electricity and goes out of commission, it only breaks that one outlet. I think that's how that would work. That sounds better. If your power goes out in your home, it's either in America, it's either your entire house is out of power or several outlets around the room or are out of power because they're all connected. So maybe that's, I think I understand. Lean to entrance porches. Lean to entrance porches. What is a lean to entrance porch? Maybe I can like Google this. Oh, it's like a nice little covering roof over your entrance, like a porch with a covering. Is this right? Is this normal in the UK? Again, that's considered like sort of a luxury in America. That's just like, oh wow, that's nice. Are some of these things just more common in the UK? You just have nicer stuff? Are houses made out of bricks with these lean-to entrances? And this is nice. What? Under the stairs cupboard. Oh, like Harry Potter. I think that's the first time many of us Americans were exposed to this under the stairs space, cupboard, or we'd call it a closet. Yeah, that does not exist in America for some reason. And I'm struggling to think of why, because that actually sounds really convenient. Is this standard in UK houses that you have like a cupboard under the stairs that Harry Potter can live in? Again, that's like the only thing I've ever seen it in. My only exposure to UK culture is Harry Potter. But seriously, for a lot of Americans, that's true. So when we when we read about Harry Potter living in the cupboard under the stairs, a lot of us Americans were like, "That's quirky. That's weird. Oh, I've never heard of that." But in the UK, it's actually normal. Is that right? It all suddenly makes sense. Finally, sheds. Sheds, like in the backyard, like a extra little building, a shed. I think sheds are fairly common in America. Are they common in the UK? It's like a little shed in your backyard that you can put your equipment or your lawnmower or your tools in the shed, you know. We have that in America. Yeah. Okay, finally, something that we can agree on. But seriously, so far this whole discussion has basically been these extra features that houses in the UK have. These lean-to entrances, these extra cupboards, these extra fuses. What? Are UK houses just nicer? Our 3-pin plugs are the goat. Yeah, I've learned about UK plugs before. I did a whole video on that, and they are better. Like it's not even you can't even argue. They're just better. Kettles to boil water. Yes. Yes. I did not know what what a water kettle was for the longest time. This is and we're talking about electric kettles, I think, or kettles in general don't exist here in America. Some people have like an old teapot. If you're really into that, or if you're visiting your grandmother, they might have an old teapot that actually you put on the stove and it whistles when steam comes out. Other than that, we heat up our water in the microwave like savages. We boil them in a pot of water on the stove. But imagine my surprise when I learned about this technology that the UK has been holding out on us: electric kettles. You can imagine my absolute culture shock when my French friend offered me a cup of tea staying at his dad's apartment in Paris. I said yes. And the guy brought out a saucepan to boil the water, then showed me a selection of fruity teas to choose from. Unhinged. I didn't know America was like French, the France, at least in the way that we boil our water. I don't know. I don't know why the technology is lost. I don't know why. Like, is the UK holding out on us? Are you hoarding all of the electric kettles? I don't know. But this is just not a thing in America. I guess we don't need to boil water as much because we're not really a tea centric culture, if you want to say it that way. We just drink coffee, and you do that in a coffee maker, so you don't even have to boil water. So I think that's really what it is, actually. What else do we have here? This is really quite interesting. I love that people in the UK are actually commenting here, like kind of inviting us into their home, explaining the UK home to me. Very nice, very interesting insights. I don't think I would really learn any other way. Definitely overrepresented, overrepresented, represented, over rep, definitely overrepresented in terms of mold, drafts, and bad insulation. Really, in the UK, mold. Why is there so much mold or drafts? Like a draft of wind coming in, and bad insulation. Well, this is the first negative thing I've heard. This would not be something you'd be terribly proud of that your house is known for. Yours for just £1,500 per month, no pets, no smokers, no disabled, no enjoying yourself. Have fun developing a weird cough. It's this. Is this what it's like trying to get somewhere to live in the UK? Trying to find somewhere to live that's affordable in America is pretty much a nightmare now as well. But I wouldn't say we're known for having mold or bad insulation. Maybe it's because our climate is a little more harsh. Like, do we have more insulation or to combat the heat? Or I don't know. I think it has to do with the different climates, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. What else? Ring main circuits. Ring main circuits. No idea what that means. It's a type of circuit, a type of wiring technique that connects a home power sockets in a ring. What does this do? This is way over my head. I that's cool. I'm not sure exactly what that does. Plastic bowl in the kitchen sink. Plastic bowl in the kitchen sink? What does that mean? Our kitchen sinks are metal. Completely metal. Plastic bowl in the kitchen sink. Can I Google this? Will this even... if you have a single sink, it is useful to have a space down which one can spill from plates. A plastic bowl acts as a noise insulator against the metal sink and a less hard surface for glass. Maybe I can look up some pictures here? Oh, is this what it is? A plastic bowl that fills up your entire sink? Does this look right for people in the UK? What? You have a bowl like in the shape of your sink that you put down in it? This so that it's a softer surface and it doesn't make as much noise? Is that right? I have never heard of that. That must be a UK thing. Huh. I've never really had like a complaint about washing stuff in the metal sink or breaking glasses. Doesn't really happen. Like, you got to be careful, but that's interesting. That's like a whole item that doesn't exist here. It's like the kettle. The UK somehow has a monopoly on electric kettles and plastic sink bowls. Because I've never heard of this. A bag of plastic bags. What? A bag of plastic bags. A bag full of plastic, like garbage bags? Like for throwing away things? And you keep them all in a big bag? What? I feel like I'm peeking behind the curtain, learning these weird things, but I need someone to just explain what this means. Plastic bowl in the sink? A bag of plastic bags? That plastic bowl is a war crime. It's disgusting and unnecessary. Okay. Can you take the plastic bowl out of the sink? Just throw it away, put it away, or can you just opt not to use it? Or is it a part of the sink? I've got a lot of questions about this. This is creating more questions for me than answers, honestly. A bag of plastic bags. No idea. A hot tap and a cold tap with no mixing ability. Wow. Are there some UK houses that actually have this? A hot and cold tap. I've heard of that. I think that's purely a British thing. But if you had it now in the modern day, that'd be very, very annoying. I think that means you live in an older house, right? Do some of them actually have a mixing ability? How does that work? Is there like a third tap in the middle that mixes them? Or the engineering involved in creating a hot and cold tap or faucet really intrigues me, but I'm kind of glad to say that in America, I've only ever experienced one tap where you can control the temperature. Maybe that's kind of a luxury. I don't know. What? All my taps have mixing ability. Really? How does that? There's two taps, but if you mix them together, where does it come out? is that a silly question? I don't know. I just can't visualize it. Oh, my Americanness is showing. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at a few more things here. How houses in the UK are different. Houses in the UK are really different, by the way. Holy cow. There's like endless little tiny tidbits here of little strange differences I never knew. Very interesting. Most don't have a basement. The washing machine is usually in the kitchen. Washing machine in the kitchen. I think that would be the biggest shock for most Americans. Out of all of these things, the washing machine in the kitchen. Like you never once see that in America. But the more I think about it, the kitchen is a place for washing things. I don't know, it's just goes so against our American culture. We have a dedicated room for the washing machine, or it's part of like the bathroom or something. Like my washing machine and dryer is in a big closet in my bathroom. And that's pretty normal for most people. The kitchen, that would Americans would be freaked out. They would think it's a dishwasher and be like, the washing machine is in the kitchen? That's disgusting. I'm gonna get food on my dirty laundry. And it's like, when you actually stop and calm down and think about it, you just don't like get your dishes lost in your washing machine. It'll all be okay. We have a massive basement and our washing machine is still in the kitchen. Oh yeah, they also said about basements. Are basements common in the UK? It kind of depends on where you live in America. Some areas, basements are really, really common. I've lived in places where no houses seem to have a basement, and it's pretty rare. But I think overall, no one is shocked in America by the existence of a basement. But it's a nice thing. It's not always there. Yeah. I think we have a winner here. Chancel repair liability? The ability of a neighborhood church to financially wipe the owner out with a repair bill for the church. What? What is that? What is it? I have never heard of this. This is a thing. Chancel repair liability. It's an ancient interest benefiting some 5,200 pre-Reformian churches in England and Wales. What? It allows the parochial church council to require owners of a former church land to meet the cost of repairing the church chancel. I don't know what a church chancel is, but this is a thing. This is actually a thing in England and Wales. The church might come after you to repair their chancel? Really? Letterboxes in the front door. Yes! Another Harry Potter reference. When all of us Americans saw the movie and we saw the letters coming in the front door, we were like, oh, there's a hole in the door. There's a little rectangle in the door. Huh, that's weird. And Harry lives in a cupboard under the stairs. That's strange house. We just thought, man, what a strange house. But no, it's just a UK house. That's just normal. Oh my gosh. Wow. I think that's a good place to stop, actually. That was fascinating. Honestly, fascinating. A lot of differences. I didn't realize there were so many differences between houses in America and houses in the UK. It's actually really fun to learn about, really interesting. And it actually seems like, at the end of the day, houses in the UK are different in that they have a lot of extra features and extra stuff. Or they just do stuff differently, like washing machine in the kitchen. But, so fascinating, the differences between our cultures. I quite enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on some of the differences between UK and American houses. That'd be very interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to the UK and UK culture and learning things about the UK for the first time, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.